I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry, what? Crunchyroll? What? Can you go an entire month without a controversy? An entire week, in some cases, for some people, without a controversy? My gosh. For those that missed it, yes, there's a recent tweet on X, we call it X now, from David Wald, a very long-running English voice actor and ADR director for different English dubs. Yes, he posted here recently, and it's been kind of catching fire that, yes, he's alleging that some staffers at Funimation and Crunchyroll have been stealing his mail. They stole his mail. All this fan mail and gifts that people were sending him, they opened them, and they gave the stuff away. And it seems like he has some claims that can be solid. Like this literally could end up leading to some sort of federal charges or investigation on Crunchyroll themselves. I think with how big Crunchyroll is as a company, this could actually lead to an investigation. There's a lot of people that have mail that gets stolen. People steal it. They have footage of it, and nothing comes of it. They submit it to the authorities. Apparently nothing ever happens. And that's unfortunately a big thing with like a lot of investigations. In most cases, it doesn't go anywhere. But with how big Crunchyroll is, this could actually turn into a big thing. And now, typically with things like this, allegations, stuff like this, Crunchyroll's an evil company, those types of things, I don't really jump to covering that stuff because I think there's plenty of anti-tubers out there that are going to chew them into the floor. Not that I want to be positive about everything that Crunchyroll does. They make it way too hard to do that. But more so the idea that somebody else is going to cover it. The reason why I want to cover this is because I think this is a good warning to people. This is something that a lot of people that watch my content, they're in my community, they're massive fans of the English dubs. And so I think it is important for people to be aware of these allegations. Because if you are a massive fan of these particular seiyus, English voice actors, we call them voice actors in the West, famous voice actors, they want to send them goods. They want to send them thank you letters. They want to send them fan letters. They want to send them gifts. And to know that it's not getting to them is very important. Let's get into it, though. Again, David Wall, for those who know who David Wall is, again, he's been around the voice acting realm since, I think, the 80s. I think the earliest listing on Mal is 80s. Did quite a bit in the 90s, and he kind of took off. This guy's known for doing Askeladd from Vinland Saga, Gajil, lots of characters. And he even did ADR roles with things like Bloom Into You and whatnot. So he's been around. He's been in Funimation and Crunchyroll for a long time, doing a lot of their English acting and, again, directing in their offices, I would assume, unless they did it in somewhere else. Anyways, what he posted on Twitter, which, again, has been blowing up like crazy, is, "Dear friends, if you send me anything care of Funimation or Crunchyroll in the last five years, I'd be very curious how he knows that range, because that's a very broad range." Again, that could be mainly because a lot of his roles probably took off when he was working at Crunchyroll and Funimation, so maybe a lot of people would send it there. Maybe he's working a lot through them. I don't know. I'm not a massive English dub fan, as you guys can tell by now if you watch my content for a while. 5 years. I apologize. I didn't get it. I learned yesterday that Crunchyroll opened my private mail, threw away your letters, and passed out any included item to their staff. That's extremely wrong if that's true. Again, these are allegations. I doubt Crunchyroll is ever going to reply to these allegations. That's the unfortunate thing. ANN, there's a writer in ANN that's currently replying to him, asking him for more details. Based on what he has said, I don't think he will say anything, but it could lead to them at least touching base with Crunchyroll and them either getting a non-response or possibly we were looking into this matter or whatever kind of response. Something like that. I'm not saying that Crunchyroll as a whole did this. I would probably assume that somebody at least heading that particular department, the mail and whatnot, probably touched base with somebody in HR or somebody in a management, and they, my assumption, probably said something to the effect of, "We're not going to send all this stuff to David. Just get rid of it. Just throw it away," which is equally bad. Again, this is a federal crime. Opening up somebody else's mail, something that is listed towards somebody else, you open it, that is a federal crime. That is a massive no-no. And it's a massive invasion of privacy. aside from the idea of warning people about this allegation because people love these actors and they want to send this stuff to them because they love these actors, you should be aware of this and be cautious about what you're sending. You should try to find out if they have an agent or something and send to their agent instead. But if you are somebody that does this, be aware of this. This stuff can get stolen. And he's alleging this is happening. First off, this is somebody replying. Second, may I ask how you learned about them doing this? He says answers would put others in jeopardy. And this is why I think that even if A&N touches base with him or some other news group does, I don't think he's going to say anything because he doesn't want to put whoever told him in jeopardy. I'm assuming somebody told him, hey, yeah. Like, so if I say, I'm in possession of 2 of the unique items recovered from the employee giveaway table. Apparently, opening the stuff, again, stuff that's actually going to him. It's labeled "Go to David Wall." They opened it and they put it on a giveaway table. Anybody just take the stuff. It's free stuff. Take it. Wow. Massive invasion of privacy. And it's sad because I don't want to read all of these because some of this stuff is personal, even though they are posting it on X. There's a lot of cases where people are replying to this post and saying, you know, you did something for my daughter, and they were so happy about that, and we sent you something, and this is so sad that it didn't get to you. And he's like, yeah, I'm sorry, I never received that. That is heartbreaking. Again, I'm not big on English actors, but I understand people loving these actors and wanting to do something for them. In a lot of cases, I've read so many cases, watched so many videos of people talking to these voice actors. These people, in a lot of cases, inspired them, changed their lives, did so much for them. They watched this role, they love this character, and that voice that came out was that character. They watched Fairy Tale, and Gajil did something amazing, and it gave them the courage to stand up and do something. And thus, they really liked the actor's voice. That's who inspired them. That's why these people love these voice actors. They inspired them. They're the character. It's super bad, super heartbreaking. When asked if they responded, like obviously he's going to email them, hey, what's going on here? He says, I've emailing the producers for the last 24 hours, no response. Again, I don't think they're going to respond. That's the sad thing is they're not going to respond. They're going to go super quiet. Then again, this is a crime. This is a massive crime. And this is going to get, again, because Crunchyroll's so big, I think there's a chance that something will actually happen if he actually pursues this. It seems like based on what he's posting, it doesn't seem like he really wants to. His big post afterwards is basically saying, hey, if anybody that worked there, if you got my stuff, please give it to me. That doesn't sound like I'm seeking legal action. He just wants his stuff. This stuff was sent to him, and he wants it. So, dear fellow workers at Crunchyroll, below is a photo of complete contents of a package addressed to me, and it was opened and distributed to employees. If you ended up with possession of any of it, I would very much like to return to me. And I think what he's implying here with a lot of the post, somebody said, sorry that happened. This is, I believe, the person that actually sent it to him. He said that he did get some of it. So I'm guessing this is probably the thing that was on the gift table, is some of the stuff in here, and that probably is what alerted him. So I'm kind of curious if this is what was possibly sent, probably several years ago that he never got, that he got part of it, and now he's like, oh, this is a bad sign. This is a sign that I'm not getting my stuff. And this is a sign somebody just jacked a whole bunch of my stuff because it was on a giveaway table. It's super bad. Now, again, this is really hard. I hate this. I know this. This upsets people. I always like to give benefit of the doubt. I always like to try to see if I can figure out maybe there's an answer here. The closest I can do was that maybe if the package got there and it was damaged to the point where they couldn't see who it was actually addressed to, they may have opened it. Doubt it. Or maybe it got to the mailing room and it got destroyed and busted open and they don't even know who it went to. Doubt it. But that's about as far as I can go. If you want to make me stretch to try to say something wasn't at fault here, that this wasn't malicious, but 5 years of this, that's the massive question mark. And again, looking at the replies in here, if they are true, again, these are all allegations, there's a lot of people saying, so I'm guessing you didn't get this. Nope. I guess you didn't get this. Nope. There's a lot of people saying, did you get this? Nope. That's sad. That is extremely sad. Over 5 years of just poof, all the stuff gone. Last post I want to look at here, it says, I assume that the workers just took stuff they were told was free. The management made the decision. This is probably in reply to the, seeing it on the giveaway table, and they just went over there and took it. The people that took it from the giveaway table, they don't know. They just probably assume that it's some stuff from a merch company that just wants to give them stuff. I work with a lot of companies that would just get free crap. Like, you would have just people that were in sales for different companies, and they just have freebie stuff. Like a bunch of, like, especially, like, little memory thumbsticks. They would just put them on the table. People would take them. That kind of stuff. And again, a company like this that's doing a lot of merchandise and stuff like that with different companies, they're going to get a lot of crap like this. Not say this is crap. I'm just saying general stuff. I really kind of like the dirt show thing. I don't know who this character is. I'm sure he's super hot. I think he's from Skate Infinity. I think it's Skate Infinity. He looks like the Skate Infinity character, because I think he voiced a character in Skate Infinity. That's probably him. But yeah, this is super. Yeah, right here. That's him. This is super bad. Again, I try to not that I try to defend Crunchyroll. I try to give Crunchyroll the benefit of the doubt. I usually, because my content's typically, I like to be positive. Again, I think that there's plenty of AniTubers that cover anime that do all the other stuff. It's the get angry at everything type of content, and I don't really like to do that stuff. I like to look at the positive things, so I typically do end up having a lot of posts where I talk about positive. But this is something I feel that I wanted people to know, mainly because, again, you should know that your content, what you're sending these people, might not get to them. I think a lot of the behind the scenes that I've seen about Funimation a while back, when I really looked into them, it didn't sound like a very good culture. And I would assume that a lot of that culture probably carried on over to Crunchyroll. And yes, Crunchyroll has their own bad reps even before they, merged in with Funimation, or Funimation was consumed by them. So I'm not saying that they are blemishless. And unfortunately, because of what I've heard behind the scenes, stuff like this doesn't surprise me. I mean, it's just like a lot of people, other people will say. You look at the quote retweets, so a lot of people are going to say the same thing. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. This is wild, but I'm not surprised. But again, my key thing here is I think people should know that if you want to send these actors the stuff, these ADRs, whatever they're doing for roles that you really appreciate, try to find out their agency or see if they have a direct PO box. Contact them directly, message them on social media or whatever, and say, hey, what's your preferred place for me to send a fan mail or something like that? If you are enjoying something that's on Crunchyroll, it's a dub that was done by their company, don't send it to Crunchyroll. Don't send it to Crunchyroll. That's the worst place to send it. Because again, there's a side of me that could believe possibly that they get this stuff and they're like, well, David doesn't even work here. I think he even implies in one of his posts that he's completely broken ties with them at this point. So that stuff's just not going to go anywhere at that point. So anyways, for the most part, I just want people to know, get a little bit of a PSA here. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button down below, comment. Let me know what you think of this whole situation. What would you think they should do? I really do think that David probably should contact the authorities, because again, I think this is not going to be a isolated case, and this is a massive, massive breach of privacy. I personally have a big beef with people, no matter if it's email, if it's messaging, a text, if somebody grabs your phone and looks at your text, all that stuff. And especially mail itself, I find that extremely offensive when somebody opens up somebody else's mail or some sort of communication. I think that is it's just as bad as somebody invading your home. Is that idea that you have this thing that is a private message to you, a correspondence to you, and right here, fan mail. It's disgusting. It is one of those things that I find to be personally disgusting, is somebody looking in somebody else's mail. But anyways, let me know. And if you're new here, make sure to subscribe before you leave. If you like this content, you want to support on more, I have links in the description below. Greatly appreciate it. Until next time, y'all take care.